Hey y'all, welcome to another full face makeup tutorial. I'm going to start with my brows. I didn't put anything on my face yet. I'm just brushing my hairs upward before I apply my Kelly Baker brown brow powder with a little slanted brush. I'm mainly just filling them in, all these little holes you see here. I'm filling them in heavily with the powder. It's a really light powder. It's going to make my brows look natural even though I'm adding hella powder. I'm brushing the product into the hairs with the spoolie, and then I'm going to clean them with my concealer. This is Studio Finish concealer by MAC, and I'm using MAC's 295 brush, I believe, flat synthetic brush to clean around my brows, and rubbing the product in with my finger and making sure, since it's creamy, that it's blended in really well before going back over them with the spoolie, staying in the lines and making sure the hairs are going the direction I want. You can also add a brow gel also, and I kind of brush in the insides a little bit more so it's not a perfect square in the center, but yeah. That's about it for the brows. Now for my face, excuse this section, it's a little blurry. I do not have autofocus on my camera. I'm using some setting spray and a beauty blender. I'm spraying my face with the setting spray first. I haven't been using a primer lately. I've just been using a setting spray and blending my foundation in with that in a beauty blender that I also sprayed with the setting spray, and making sure the foundation is blended all over my skin, of course, around the brows and on the neck area. And once that dried, I just added a little piece of tape to the outer corners of my eye, and then an eyeshadow base before I apply my shadows. I applied a little bit of MAC's Mineralized Skinfinish around my brows to conceal that creamy texture that the concealer made a little bit more with a blending brush. The first color is called Unseen from Melt's Dark Matter little magnetic stacks that they have. I blended that in with one of Hair and Makeup Addiction's blending brushes right underneath my brow above my crease, and I'm going over the tape, of course, so I have that sharp edge when I remove it. And then I'm going to add Enigma, which is also from the Melt stack, and I'm going to apply that right under the brown shade with another blending brush, just buffing it in and making sure the two colors are blended into each other really well, going over the tape once again. And the next color I added is Lovesick, also by Melt, and I am applying that color on my lid. I am packing it on. It's a matte color, a little red brickish color that I'm applying all over the lid area with a flat synthetic brush by Motives. And I'm not going all the way to the end because I'm going to add obviously a darker color in that area, but I'm blending the crease with a blending brush. I don't believe I added any product to it. And then I'm adding Melt's Dark Matter, which is their black matte shade, to the outer corner with Hair and Makeup Addiction's pencil brush. Once I get the product where I want it, I'm going to switch back and forth between the pencil brush and the blending brush to make sure it's blending into my crease. You can add a little bit more Enigma just to make sure the colors are blended well into each other. And you can tone down any color you need with a skin tone. I'm using my Mineralized Skin Finish just to go underneath my brow to make sure it's not too heavy and it's blended well. Before I remove my tape, you see I got that crispy edge there, and I'm blotting away the residue with my beauty blender that I had my foundation on already. That was it for the top portion of the eyes. Now I'm going to the face. Same routine that I always do, using MAC, excuse my hands, hella dirty, Prolongwear Concealer in NC42 with the beauty blender. I pat that underneath my eyes, make sure I don't mess up that sharp edge, the center of my nose, the center of my forehead, and on the top of my lip and my chin, before packing on some Nye Banana Powder. If the Nye Banana Powder doesn't work for you, just use a translucent powder, a loose translucent powder, if you want to keep your concealer from creasing. But I love the way the banana powder sets on my face afterwards when I dust it away. For my contour, I use Motives Cosmetics Color Perfection Quadrant Dark, and I'm applying that all around the outsides of my forehead and my cheek contour. That's going to depend on your bone structure. Down the sides of my nose, not too thin. I'm not trying to look like I have a unrealistic nose. Down my cupid's bone, my chin area, and I'm blending that out with Hair and Makeup Addiction's contour brush. or you can use a beauty blender, whatever works for you. This is just easier for me. And you want to be really light with this brush. It may not look like it, but I'm really light because you don't want to manipulate the cream a little bit too much to where it becomes splotchy. So you want to be light-handed with blending cream contours, and I'm applying a little bit of banana powder underneath the contour just to define it a little bit more before blending it in. The loose powder, you can either sweep it away or press it into your skin. I like to press it in first and then sweep it away with the brush later, but I'm making sure that I don't have any uneven areas. I am buffing out my contour a little bit more with a I think this is their Chiseler brush from Hair and Makeup Addiction. Once again, not too heavy with the brush. You don't want to move around the product too much. And finally, going over my highlight with MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark with a large fluffy brushes from Hair and Makeup Addiction as well. And I'm going over all the areas that I highlighted just to give my highlight a tinted brown as opposed to that harsh yellow. And it's going to make everything blend into each other a lot more nicely. You can go over your contour areas as well because this powder is tinted and really lightweight, so it won't change up your color too much, just enough. Yeah, that was a lot, but that's it for the face. Moving on to the under eye area, I'm using a Millie, also by Melt. All these shadows are obviously from Melt Cosmetics, and I'm applying that color into the corners of my eye just to brighten up the look a little bit more. I believe this is just a small brush from BH Cosmetics. And once I apply that shade, I'm applying Enigma, I believe. Oh, no, this is the same shade that's on my lid, sorry. And I'm blending that on my lash line before adding a black pencil, Very Black LA Girl, my favorite. And I am blending that out with a small brush into my lash area, just to smudge it out a little bit. My liner, Little Black Dress, Motives, as usual, with MAC's 210 brush. And I'm following that sharp crease to guide my wing before filling it in, making sure it's nice and sharp. I kind of went a little bit longer with this liner. And my lashes, I used the Pin Up Girl collection from Lashes by Lena. I believe you say Noemie. I'm not sure if I said that right, but since I've used these a few times, I'm using a little alcohol and a Q-tip to clean it off. Every time I use lashes more than once, I always clean them with alcohol just to sanitize them. And the little tool I use is from Weak Lashes. And my mascara, I use Benefit Cosmetics Roller Lash, which is one of my new favorites, especially for my top. Blending in my real lashes to my falsies, it grabs every hair. It's great mascara. My blush is Pegacorn by ColourPop Cosmetics. As usual, applying with my finger. The best way to apply their shadows and blushes is with your finger. And I'm just gently rubbing it onto the apples of my cheek with a light hand, of course. And this brush doesn't have anything on it. I'm just making sure the blush is blended before adding this highlight color from Becca Cosmetics called Topaz. I'm applying that on the highest points of my cheeks. This brush is from Hair and Makeup Addiction. And I'm going over down a little bit at the tip of my nose, highest points of my cheek, and a little bit of my temples. And that's it. I have a nice glow, dark eyes, and we're going to move on to the lips. Dark as well, full on Vamp here. And I'm applying Velveteen, I think this is Black Velvet, onto my lips. This is pretty much self-explanatory. You want to stay inside the lines as much as possible. Use a lip brush if you need to be a little bit more precise. And on my bottom lip, I used the color that's on my lid and just placed it in the center of my bottom lip. You can skip this, you don't have to do this, but I just thought it looked cool for the overall look. Nice little vampy lip. But that was it, y'all. This is the final look. I hope you enjoy. I always try to do something different to inspire. You can always switch up whatever you want to make this look best for you. If you enjoyed, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you will. Check out my blog, MissEllarie.com, and my kids' clothing store, YOSHIDOLL.com. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at Ellarie. As usual, thanks for watching, and until next time, mwah.